My name is Giovanni, and in this video I'm bringing you part 3 of my September wrap-up. So this is part 3. I'm sorry again for the buzzing of the fridge. See the first video of that. And we're continuing on with mostly graphic memoirs, but also a couple other books in part 3. I read Snug by Catana Chetwynd. I have previously read her first book, Little Moments of Love. This is like, well, the second book, if that makes sense. Although I think you can also read this one on its own. But here is the synopsis. This is a graphic memoir, well, actually a collection of comics about Catana and her partner, boyfriend, best friend, and so it just has basically just like the first book. Here is the first page, just like little comics of things that happen. I like this book just like the first book. Some things I related to, some things less so, but yeah, this was an enjoyable read, I thought. And yeah, again, I'm trying to keep things short in these videos, so also because I'm not feeling all that well. So then I read Happily Ever After and Everything in Between by Tung. I have read the first 2 books by Tung. They are Quiet Girl in a Noisy World and Book Love, and this is basically like a bit similar to the previous book I discussed, like her and her boyfriend, partner. He is in Quiet Girl in a Noisy World as well, as a side character, I guess, if you will. So yeah, I enjoyed this book. Book Love remains my favorite. I don't know why, it looks like there's a little bit of dirt on there or something. I think it was like that when I got it, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so this was enjoyable. Yeah, I could say that about a lot of the books this month, but not all of them. Although this wrap-up we're having mostly, well, it's old books I enjoyed. Anyway, then I read They Called Us Enemy by George Takei and 3 other people. Justin Eisinger, Stephen Scott and Harmony Becker. So this is George Takei's memoir of his childhood. Well, you can see it there. His childhood in American concentration camps as a Japanese American. And now I personally mostly know George Takei from his role in the Star Trek series and movies and all that. But yeah, I thought this was really, yeah. I can't say, you can't say you enjoyed it with a memoir like this because of the subject matter, but I found it very interesting. I didn't know a lot about American concentration camps for Japanese people. Me being Dutch, growing up in the Netherlands, we were taught about the concentration camps in the Netherlands for Jewish people. So yeah, and mostly we were taught about that and of course other aspects of World War II, but we were not taught as much about, well, that there were concentration camps in America for Japanese or Japanese American people. So yeah, I found it really interesting to read about that, and yeah. So here's some of the art, and yeah, I found this a very interesting read. Next up, I read The Best We Could Do by Thi Bui, and this is another graphic memoir, and this is actually the author's debut, and it is her family's journey from Vietnam in the war going to America. Now I read one book before with this that like similar thing, which was, I'm sorry, the name escapes me right now, but that was like a children's book written in verse, but it was also about a child in Vietnam, having to flee to America, sort of thing. Anyway, so this is a graphic memoir. That one. So yeah, I found it really, really interesting and you know, heartbreaking, just like with the previous memoir. Yeah. I was also not told like a whole lot, I think, about the Vietnam War, but I could be wrong. But to be honest, history in school has never been my best subject, nor the subject that I was most interested in, and neither were wars something that I was particularly interested in. I thought this was a very impressive memoir. Yeah, again, a really nice read, and I can't remember who recommended this to me, but I know it was somebody from BookTube. So if that was you, or maybe there was multiple of you, I'm sorry. But I really like this, so if it was you, thank you for this recommendation. Next up, I read Excellent Excuses and Other Good Stuff, book 2 in the Tom Gates series by Liz Pichon. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And this was a reread for me. I have read some of the books in this series from the library and went on to buy my own copy, so this was actually the first time reading my own copy. And I read this in the evening when I was feeling quite like mentally tired, so I wanted something easy to read, so I thought a reread a children's book that would be a good fit, and it was. Here is a synopsis. The Tom Gates series is about a kid, a boy called Tom Gates, and his adventures in the school and with his family, and so there's a lot of illustrations in it. There's text, but there's also illustrations, and yeah, I just enjoy books like this when I'm when my mind is not up for, let's say, more difficult, challenging, heartbreaking things, more that need more processing power. This doesn't need as much, if that makes sense. And there's humor in these books. It says here as well that this author, or this book, yeah, the author has won the Roald Dahl Funny Prize in 2011, which was, I think, with the first book in this series. This is book 2. We can tell my concentration is kind of, I'm going all over the place. I enjoyed rereading this, so yeah. And lastly, the last book in this this video is Illegal by Eoin Colfer and Andrew Donkin, and illustrated by Giovanni Rigano. Yeah, the lettering by Chris Dickey. This is a fictional book, a graphic novel, but it is based on like actual stories. Here is the back. This is about a young boy from Africa who fleeing to Europe, and yeah, this was also like a kind of heartbreaking, difficult, like important read, I think. Difficult is not the right word. I mean, like it tugs at your emotions is what I mean, and it makes you, yeah. Anyway, I thought it was really nice. It is obviously not own voices. They did base it on like research and stuff, and so it's not a graphic memoir like the other two that I discussed do with like refugees and such. But I found this one a nice read as well. Well, I think this video was a little bit shorter than some of the other ones. Maybe not. Thank you very much for watching part 3, and leave a comment if you like, and I hope to see you soon for part 4. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!